Hi, welcome back to Cinderella Math. Today I'm going to be doing a worksheet on adding and subtracting rational expressions. I would say this is an Algebra 1 level. If you're in Algebra 2, this would be like a good review, but you'll probably need to go harder. This would also maybe be a good review if you're getting ready for SATs. All right, so I've got a worksheet here, and I'm certainly not going to do all of those. Don't worry. I think I'm going to do maybe every other odd. Yeah. So we need a common denominator. Just like back in fourth, fifth, sixth grade, when you were started working with fractions, you could not add or subtract them unless you had a common denominator. So again, I think I'm going to go for every other odd here. Looking at number one, look at the denominator. A plus 3, A plus 3. We've got a common denominator. So you are going to keep that common denominator and then add across the top. So that'll be 2 plus 4 over A plus 3, which will give us 6 over A plus 3. That does not reduce. You're done. Okay. Okay, again, going for every other odd. So I'm going to come down to 5. Grab a scratch piece of paper, grab your calculator, and work along with me. Feel free to pause me. If I'm working too fast, slow the speed down on YouTube, or again, just pause. Looking at 5, do we have a common denominator? Yes. So keep that denominator. And then you're going to subtract the top, but it's subtracting this whole second one. So distribute that negative. So the first thing is fine, 2x squared plus 3, and then distribute that negative. So that would be minus x squared, minus minus would turn positive 5x, negative times 9 is negative 9. There we go. So make sure you do that whole second one is being subtracted. There's an invisible 1 right there, and then let's combine like terms. 2x squared minus 1x squared would be 1x squared or just x squared. Okay, so he's done. Now do the x's, so that's just plus 5x. He didn't have a like term. And 3 minus 9 is negative 6. And there we are. Let's see if anything factors. I'm going to forget about the 1, or leave it. It doesn't matter. So the top is a trinomial. I factor trinomials using the magic X method. You can do whatever method you prefer. Guess and check, box method, whatever you've learned, do that now, but I use the magic X. So I do the first times the last, so negative 6 and the middle number here. Magic MA. I want to multiply to the top, add to the bottom. So if I did 6 times negative 1, that would work. So see this x squared, ignore the 1, split that apart. 1x for me, 1x for you, and then you take your magic numbers that multiply to the top, added to the bottom. We had plus 6 and we had minus 1. Okay, and then I noticed that the bottom is also a trinomial. So I'll try to factor that. There's a 1. 1 times 5 is 5, and the middle number is negative 6. So we need to multiply here, add here. What if we did 5 times 1, but both negative? Because two negatives would multiply positive, but if you add that up, it would be negative 6. So see the x squared? Split that up. 1x for me, 1x for you. And we had magic numbers of minus 5, minus 1. And then the x minus 1 cancels, giving us a final result of x plus 6 over x minus 5. That is the answer for number 5. Okay, coming down to number 9. This does not have a common denominator, so we need to work on that first. I'm just going to write this bigger. 8 over 9t cubed plus 5 over 6t squared. So looking at the bottom, we need these to be the same. Go through your times tables for 9 and 6. Well, they both, if you go through the times tables, they both would get to 18. So let's turn them both to 18. So you're going to need to times this one by 2, but got to be fair, do the same thing to the top. And you'll times this one by 3. Do the same thing to the top. Now check your exponents as well. This has T3. I like to pretend it's food. So what food starts with T? Gosh, tacos. He's got 3 tacos. He's got 2. They need the same, and you can't take away tacos. So you're going to have to give him one more taco. And then be fair, do that to the top. Okay, now we're ready. 2 times 8, so that's going to be 16 plus 5 times 3 times t. So that would be 15 with a t. And then our common denominator, 2 times 9, so 18. And then taco 3. No GCFs, nothing factors, you're done. Okay, so we got the denominator the same, and that was pretty much it, because there was nothing that went together, there was no like terms, there's no GCFs, you're done. Okay, that was 9, so I'm going to come to 13. Does it have a common denominator? No. Okay, so looking at our denominators, this has a 4x, he just has an x, so we'll have to give him a 4, and then do the same thing on top. See how it's minus? That's going to be a minus 4. There we go. So now we have x minus 1, distribute this negative 4. So distribute, that'd be negative 8x. Distribute, that would be negative 12 all over that greatest, or the common denominator of 4x. There's a 1 there. Combine like terms on the top. 1 minus 8 would give us negative 7x. Negative 1 minus 12 would give us negative 13 all over 4x. Nothing reduces, there's no common factors, you're done. Just watch that negative. So that was a negative 4 that we distributed. Okay, coming to 17. Okay, does that have a common denominator? Almost, but it's z minus 1 and then z plus 1. I'm going to write this one bigger. And I cross my z's so they don't look like 2's. So if you're wondering why, that's why. Okay, so z minus 1 is a binomial. Those go together. Z plus 1 is a binomial. Those go together. Okay, so we need to invite the entire binomial z plus 1 so that that would match. And we need to invite the entire binomial z minus 1. But of course, we have to be fair. So we're going to invite z plus 1 right here and z minus 1 right here. Now we're ready. Distributing on the top. So that would be 2z squared. Distribute. Positive 2z. See this minus? Put it right there. I even scribble it out and write it real close. Distribute. Negative 3z squared. Distribute negative negative would turn to positive 3z over the common denominator, z plus 1, z minus 1. Don't distribute or FOIL on the bottom. Just leave the bottom as factors. That's fine. Okay, let's combine like terms on the top. 2 minus 3 would be negative 1 z squared or just negative z squared. And then right here, 2 plus 3 would be 5 with a z. And then we still have z plus 1, z minus 1. And then some teachers might say that's good enough, but look at the top. They do have, this guy's got 2 zucchini, he has 1. They do have a GCF of z, which would leave negative z plus 5 all over z plus 1. I would say that's answer. Some teachers don't like a negative right there, so they might switch it, and they may say this, z, and they might say 5 minus z, because they just don't like the negative in front. It doesn't bother me. But same thing. These are both answers. Okay, that one got a little bit nasty, but we got there. Okay. So going to 21. These do not have a GCF, so we need to fix that. Okay, looking at the second bottom, 4t minus 12, we could pull out a 4. So that would leave t, and 12 divide 4, that would leave minus 3. So let's do that. Let's scribble that out. So let me rewrite the problem. We have t over t minus 3 minus 5, and then we have GCF to the second denominator to be 4t minus 3. So now we need the denominators the same. Well, they have t minus 3. They have that binomial. He's got a 4. Just give this one a 4. And of course, you got to be fair. Give this one a 4. So now on the top, we have 4t minus 5 over the common denominator of 4t minus 3. That's the best that one can do. So that one, it looks bad, but once you got that GCF, it wasn't crazy. Okay, coming to 25. Ooh, no numbers on this one. Okay. I'm just going to rewrite this a little bigger. T over y minus t minus y, y plus t. So again, look at the bottom. They do not match. Y minus t goes together. So that entire y minus t needs to be invited here and then be fair and do it here. And then on the other side, y plus t, that goes together. So the entire y plus t needs to be invited here and be fair and invite it there. Yucky. Distribute on top. So that would be ty, t squared. Now right here, this minus, hug it up close to this. There we go. Distribute. So that'd be minus y squared. Minus minus would turn plus ty. And the bottom, don't distribute, don't FOIL, just leave it y plus t, y minus t. On the top, there's a 1 right there, there's a 1 right there. So 1 ty makes 2 ty plus t squared minus y squared all over. Answer. You could rearrange the top if you want the t squared first. Some teachers would, because like ABC order, technically it should be t squared positive 2 ty minus y squared. Either way, I'm not going to be picky about it, but other teachers might. Both of those green boxes are correct. Going to do 29. Ugh, those do not have a common denominator. They are both trinomials on the basement, so let's factor this one. I'm going to come out to the side. That's a 1. So 56 and 15. Go through your times tables on 56. 8 times 7. That would add to 15. So it multiplies there, adds here. So we would have x over, we factor to x plus 8, x plus 7, minus, and now let's factor second man. There's a 1 there. 42 and 13. So multiply here, add there. That's 6 times 7 is 42, and 6 plus 7 is 13. So there. Okay, now look at the bottoms. They have both an x plus 7, so that's good. But see this x plus 6? He needs to be invited over here. And of course, be fair. And then see the x plus 8? He needs to be invited over here and be fair. Go ahead, scribble the minus, put it right tight with the 7. Distributing on the top would be x squared plus 6x. Distribute that negative 7x minus 56. And then the bottom, just leave it. The order on the bottom doesn't matter. X plus 6, x plus 7, x plus 8, but don't FOIL those out. Just leave it. Combining on the top, 6 minus 7 would give us x squared minus 1x, or just minus x, minus 56. On the bottom, it is fine. Now the top is a trinomial. Let's try to factor it. There's a 1. Negative 56 and negative 1. What multiplies here adds here. Well, what if you owe me 8, give me 7? You'd still owe me 1, and that multiplies. Oh, I'm out of room. Okay. I am coming somewhere in an orange pen up to the tip top. So the top has factored from that pink magic x, x minus 8, x plus 7, and then the bottom's still the same. And then something cool will happen. I'm in a black pen now. X plus 7 cancels, giving us a final answer of x minus 8 over x plus 6, x plus 8. The answer right there in the black box. Sorry, I should have written smaller. Okay, I'm going to come to 33. They do not have a common denominator. We will get one. So just looking at the bottoms, let's factor. Now the first bottom, the left bottom, is not a magic X because it's not a 1, 2, 3. It's not a trinomial. This is just difference of squares. I call that dose sometimes. You just have to catch that. That is just a pattern you need to know. Comes up a lot in algebra. So this is just going to be 2x over, and then make two parentheses. Take the first one, take the square root. So x for me, x for you. Take the square root. 1 for me, 1 for you. And then the rule with difference of squares is one gets a plus, one gets a minus. All right, let's keep the minus, and then let's factor this one. Now that is a 1, 2, 3 trinomial magic x. Put a 1. Or factor however you like to factor. So that would be -3 and 2. We need to multiply here, add here. What if you had 3 spend 1? You'd still have 2, and yeah, that's good. So we have -4 over x plus 3, x minus 1 from the blue magic x. Okay, looking just at the bottoms, they both have x minus 1. That's good. But see, this guy has x plus 3. You got to invite x plus 3. Be fair. And then this one has x plus 1. We need to invite x plus 1. Be fair. Scribble out the minus, put it up tight. Okay, distributing on the top. 2x squared plus 6x. Distribute that -4. So -4x minus 4. And the bottom, do not FOIL all that out. Just leave x plus 3, x plus 1, x minus 1. Those can be in any order on the bottom. Combining like terms, 6 minus 4 would be 2x. The bottom would stay. But look at this one. I see a GCF. Those are all even. So let's pull a 2. Divide that out. So that would be gone and be x squared. Divide that out. That would be gone and be x. Divide that out. That would be -2. And the bottom's the same. Okay. Let's see if this trinomial factors. So I'm going to do a green magic X. There's a 1. There's a 1. So -2 and 1. Multiply here, add here. What if you had 2 spend 1? Yep, that would work. I'm going to come right here in the green. See this 2 that we pulled out, the GCF? Leave it. And then we have factored that trinomial with the green magic X to be x plus 2, x minus 1, and the bottom stays. And then finally, moment of truth, I'm in a red pen, x minus 1 cancels himself out. And we get a final answer of 2x plus 2 all over x plus 3, x plus 1. Answer for 33. Ooh, these are getting harder as we go down. Almost done. 37. So I'll just do 37 and 41, and then we'll call it a day. 37, do they have a common denominator? No. So look at this bottom. That's a difference of squares. So we'll keep the top. Set up two parentheses, take the square root. So that would be a for me, a for you. Take the square root, 3 for me, 3 for you, 1 plus, 1 minus. Keep the minus. And now this one doesn't factor, so just keep it. Okay. Alrighty. So this is so close. See how this is a minus 3 and this is 3 minus a? Let me show you a trick. This is not have to do with the problem per se. What if I just had like 10 minus 4? You would tell me 6. What if I had 4 minus 10? You would tell me -6. So see how when these are switched, the answer just gets negated. So if we times this by -1, and you went through there, that would be -3 positive a, but then you know with adding, you're allowed to flip it. So that could be a plus -3, but then plus a minus, that's just a minus 3. Oh, look, that matches. So if we just negate it, you would get that same factor of a minus 3. Okay, that is a handy trick. It doesn't come up a ton, but it is handy. So I'm just going to negate that one. But if I negate on the bottom, I'm going to have to negate on the top. But that's actually good on the top because look, minus minus will turn to plus. And then when I negate this, this just turns to a minus 3 because I just did that work a second ago. But then look, this still has a plus 3. So we'll have to invite him and be fair. Okay, so now on the top, we have 4 minus a squared. FOIL here, that would be a squared, 3a. Under would be negative 2a. Under would be negative 6. And then just leave the bottom, a plus 3, a minus 3. Woo, okay. Combining like terms on the top. We've got negative a squared, positive a squared. That's going to cancel. That's nice. 3 minus 2 would just be 1a or a. And 4 minus 6 would be negative 2. And then the bottom's fine. Nothing cancels out. You're done. So that trick of knowing the negation really came into help there. And finally, I'll do 41. Yay, it's an adding. Usually addings are a little bit easier. That is not a common denominator. So looking right here, I'm going to magic X. There's a 1. So 2 and 3. Multiply to 2, add to 3 would be 2 times 1. So this is keeping the top, factored the bottom to x plus 2, x plus 1 with our magic X, or however you factor, plus keep the top, and I'm going to factor that bottom. There's a 1. 6 and 5. Multiply here, add here. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5. So x plus 3, x plus 2. Okay, now look at these basements. He's got x plus 2. He's got x plus 2. Yay. X plus 3. Oh, invite him. Invite him. X plus 1. Nope. Invite him. Invite him. Okay, now we've got a common denominator. We're going to FOIL right here to be 2x squared, FOIL, positive 6x under, negative 3x under, negative 9, foiling right here. 3x squared, foiling, 3x, under, negative 1x, under, negative 1. And the bottom is fine. The order that you have on the bottom does not matter. Ooh, combining like terms on the top. 2x squared plus 3x squared would be 5x squared. So I'm going to scribble that out. Now the x's. 6 minus 3, 3 minus 1. Well, see this minus 3 and the plus 3? They could cancel out, right? So I'm just going to cancel that out. And then now I just have 6 minus 1. So that would be positive 5x. Okay. And now the constants. Negative 9 minus 1 is negative 10. And the bottom stays. Now, look at the top there. I see a GCF. I'm going to have to white out. Okay. I'm in blue. I see a GCF on the top. 5, 5, and 10. We could get a 5. So let's pull that out. Dividing by 5. That cancels, and that's just x squared. Divide 5. That cancels, and that's just x. Divide 5. That's negative 2, and the bottom stays. Okay, now look at the trinomial on the top. I'm in red. Let's see if that factors. There's a 1, there's a 1. So negative 2 and 1. We want to multiply to the top, add to the bottom. What if you had 2 and then spend 1? Yep, that works. So we have 5, that's still there. The GCF is still there. And we have factored the trinomial with the red magic X to be x plus 2, x minus 1. The bottom lives. Is the bottom a plus 1 or I think it's a plus and I've been writing it as a minus. I think. Oh gosh, I hope so. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it's a plus. It's a plus. Right? Ah. Yeah. Okay. So the only thing that cancels in the red, I'm in pink now, is x plus 2, giving us a final answer of 5x minus 1 over x plus 3, x plus 1. Okay. So again, this is probably an algebra 1 level, maybe algebra 2, but algebra 2, I think you'd need to go a little bit harder. I know this was hard, but there you go. I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you back soon. Bye-bye.